extreme water and heavy rain, while flood situation slightly improved in Sylhet and Suramganj. Relief distribution among flood-affected people continues. Army officially recognizes Palestinian statehood and is in favor of a two-state solution of Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And Australia beat Bangladesh by 28 runs at Super 8 stage in T20 World Cup. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10 on BTV and BTV World. This is Shoma Bose welcoming you all. Those were the headlines. Now move on to the details.
দুর্নীতিবাদদের বিরুদ্ধে আমাদের সংগ্রাম শুরু করতে হবে। এই দুর্নীতিবাদদের কোনদিন সরকারি আইন করে দুর্নীতিবাদ দমন করা সম্ভব নয় জনগণের সমর্থন ছাড়া। আজকে আমি বলবো বাংলার জনগণকে এক নম্বর কাজ হবে যে দুর্নীতিবাদদের বাংলার মাটিকে উৎখাত করতে হবে। আমি আপনাদের সাহায্য চাই।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reached New Delhi on a two-day state visit at invitation of our Indian counterpart Narendra Modi. A flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage members landed at Palam Airport in New Delhi this afternoon. Indian Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change and also Minister of State for External Affairs Shri Kirtivartan Singh and Bangladesh High Commissioner to India Mohammad Mustafizur Rahman received Sheikh Hasina at the airport. The Prime Minister was welcomed by traditional folk dance there. Both sides of the roads were decorated with the flags of Bangladesh and India and placards of Sheikh Hasina and Narendra Modi. Various types of placards in different languages welcoming Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina were seen on the both sides of the roads from Palam Airport to Hotel Taj Palace. This is the first bilateral visit by any head of government to India after the BJP-led alliance formed its government for the third consecutive term. During the visit, both the premiers will have a tete-a-tete followed by delegation-level talks, and then Dhaka and New Delhi would sign several agreements and memorandum of understandings to strengthen the existing bilateral ties further. Additionally, discussions on a potential trade pact are expected. Over the past decade, numerous cross-border initiatives have been launched as part of a robust regional partnership plan. This visit will be Sheikh Hasina's second trip to the Indian capital in less than 15 days, as she was among the dignitaries invited to Modi's swearing-in ceremony on June 9. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has put emphasis on holding dialogues to remove the challenges that Bangladesh and India are experiencing in economic development activities. She said this while Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at a place of residence in New Delhi. Principal Secretary M. Tafazul Hossain Mia said while briefing the reporters after the call-on. He said that both discussed to advance the partnership between the two neighboring countries after forming the new government in the two countries. Dr. Jaishankar told that in the last 10 years, the relations of Bangladesh and India have stepped in such a height where it could be taken to a new chapter. Dr. Jaishankar urged Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to take a new role for BIMSTEC, and he hoped that she will be present in the next meeting of BIMSTEC in September in Thailand. Both agreed that strengthening BIMSTEC it would be beneficial for Bangladesh economically, trade, connectivity and digitalization. Prime Minister's Press Secretary M. Naimul Islam Khan said Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said if necessary they will avoid Myanmar in BIMSTEC and other countries would cooperate each other and advance their cooperation because India is also affected because of Myanmar. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has invited Indian businessmen to come up with investment in Bangladesh, saying that she prioritized all neighboring countries for aid. She said this while Chief Executive Officers of Confederation of Indian Industry CII paid a courtesy call on her at her place of residence. Prime Minister's Private Industry and Investment Affairs Advisor Salman Fazlur Rahman quoted the Premier as she saying. In a media briefing, he told the reporter allegations without any proof. He said such efforts of BNP will take seriously that it is a conspiracy of wiping out Awami League government or not. Obaidul Qadir said this while addressing a rally before a procession organized marking the 75th founding anniversary of Bangladesh Awami League.
আজকে আমাদেরকে দুর্নীতিবাজ বানানো চক্রান্ত করছে কিছু কিছু মিডিয়া আজকে সেই অপপ্রচারে নেমেছে দুদক স্বাধীন বিচার বিভাগ স্বাধীন শেখ হাসিনার সৎসাহস আছে দুর্নীতিবাজদের বিচার করা তারা যেই হোক যত প্রভাবশালী কিন্তু আজকে যে ধারাভাবে দুর্নীতিবাজ বানানো চক্রান্ত চলছে এটা আওয়ামী লীগকে হটানোর জন্য এই ষড়যন্ত্র কি সেটা আমাদের ভেবে দেখতে হবে।
Obaidul Qadir said Awami League is a united and well-organized political party. Mass people is the main source of its power, so none can gain any profit giving threats to Awami League.
আজকে আন্দোলনের নামে যদি আবার আগুন নিয়ে মাঠে নামে আগুন সন্ত্রাস সন্ত্রাস হত্যা খুনের রাজনীতি শুরু করেন আমরা রাজপথে আছি আওয়ামী লীগ সমুচিত জবাব দিতে প্রস্তুত।
Awami League President members Mufazzal Hossain Chaudhry Maya, Dr. Mustafa Jalal Mohiuddin and Jahangir Kopir Nanok, Joint General Secretaries Mahbubul Anum Hanif and AFM Bahauddin Nasim and leaders of Dhaka City Awami League also spoke on the occasion. Later, Awami League General Secretary inaugurated the procession, which paraded different city streets before ending at Dhanmondi 32. The flood situation has improved slightly in Sylhet and Sunamganj as the water level is receding gradually in these two districts. On the other hand, new areas of Maulavi Bazar, Habiganj, Surajganj and Bogura are inundated due to upstream water and heavy rain. Besides, the water level has increased in 3 upazilas of Netrokona because of flash floods. Meanwhile, the district administration has been distributing relief among the flood-affected people. In Sylhet, Surma and Kushiora rivers continue to flow above the danger mark at 6 points. Around 1 million people from 23 wards in the city and 13 upazilas have been affected by the flood water. 131 medical teams are working in the district. Lawmaker Imran Ahmed distributed relief among the flood victims in Guanghat and Jaitidpur upazila. In Sunamganj, the Surma River near the district is flowing 8 centimeters above the danger level. Sunamganj Deputy Commissioner said 995 metric tons of rice, 5,200 packets of dry foods and child and cattle food worth 15 lakh taka have been allocated for the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief. In Maulavi Bazar, the flood situation in the district has deteriorated due to heavy rain and the onrushing water from upstream. Maulavi Bazar Shamshernagar Road has been inundated by the flood water. Flood water increased in the areas of Barlekha and Juri upazila. The local administration has been distributing relief among the flood-affected people. In Sirajganj, the water of Jamuna River is flowing 93 centimeters below the danger mark by swelling 20 centimeters. Low-lying areas of the district have started inundating gradually. In Bogura, low-lying areas and cropland in the district are inundated due to the increase of water in Korotua, Bangali and Ichamoti rivers. Foreign Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood congratulated the expatriate Bangladeshis in Saudi Arabia for playing a role in the country's economy by sending remittance through legal channels. He also greeted them for uplifting Bangladesh's image through their activities as per law. The foreign minister was exchanging views with Bangladeshis at a hotel in Medina yesterday after performing the Holy Hajj. At that time, Dr. Hassan Mahmood made important suggestions regarding the special pension scheme for the expatriates, offshore banking and ownership of business abroad. Bangladesh's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Mohammad Jabed Patwari, and Consul General in Jeddah, Mohammad Najmul Haq, among others, were present at the views exchange meeting. Now moving to some international news. Armenia has officially recognized a Palestinian state, the Armenian Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Friday, defying Israel, which is opposed to such moves. The same statement said Armenia supports a UN resolution on an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and is in favor of a two-state solution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Meanwhile, Israeli forces have carried out deadly air attack across Gaza over the past 24 hours, including a strike on a home that has killed 8 people in Gaza City's Jaitun neighborhood. Another 3 Palestinians, including a child, have been killed in an early morning Israeli attack in the east of Khan Yunus. United Nations experts warn arms manufacturers against transferring weapons to Israel, saying it could make them complicit in violation of international law carried out in Gaza. At least 3 Palestinians were killed after Israeli special forces shot at a vehicle in the center of Qalqilia, northern occupied West Bank. The Israel forces also reportedly besieged a building in the center of the city. At least 37,431 Palestinians have been killed and 85,653 wounded in Israeli attack on Gaza since October 7 in 2023. Vladimir Putin has warned South Korea it would be making a big mistake if it arms Ukraine in the war against Russia. His commands come after Seoul said it was considering such a possibility in response to Russia and North Korea's new pact to help each other in the event of aggression against either country. Moscow will make decisions which are unlikely to please the current leadership of South Korea if Seoul decided to supply arms to Kiev, Putin told reporters yesterday. The Russian leader was speaking in Vietnam shortly after a lavish visit to Pyongyang, where he signed a mutual defense agreement with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Seoul had earlier condemned the agreement as a threat to its national security, and National Security Advisor Chang Ho-jin said his country planned to reconsider the issue of arms support of Ukraine. Following Putin's remarks, South Korea's residential office said on Friday it would consider various options in supplying arms to Ukraine, and its stance will depend on how Russia approaches this issue. Authorities are also expected to summon Russia's ambassador to South Korea to lodge a protest, Yonhap news agency reported, citing unnamed diplomatic sources. While South Korea has given humanitarian aid and military equipment to Ukraine, it has so far refused to provide lethal weapons, as it has an official policy not to arm countries at war. North Korea is building sanctions of what appears to be a wall in several places near its border with South Korea, new satellite images reveal. Images analyzed by BBC Verify also show that land inside the demilitarized zone DMZ has been cleared, which experts said could be a violation of the long-standing truce with South Korea. The demilitarized zone is a 4-kilometer wide buffering zone between North and South Korea, who are still technically at war, having never signed a peace treaty. The demilitarized zone is split in two, with each side controlled by the respective nations. This recent activity is unusual according to experts and comes at a time of rising tensions between the two countries. Washington and Beijing are taking more regularly to avoid a conflict in the South China Sea despite the continuous and competitive relationship, the United States ambassador to China has told the BBC. Nicholas Burns said in an interview in Beijing earlier this week that US and Chinese militaries are operating in very close proximity to one another in the South China Sea and in the Taiwan Strait. The South China Sea has become a dangerous flashpoint where Beijing's claims are ratcheting up tensions with Taiwan and Philippines, as well as their most powerful ally, the US. Chinese and Philippines vessels have been playing a dicey cat-and-mouse game in the contested waters in recent months. The latest altercation this week allegedly involved Chinese Coast Guard personnel boarding a Philippine boat and attacking soldiers with swords and knives. The US, which has stitched together military alliances from Manila to Tokyo, has repeatedly vowed to defend its allies' rights in the South China Sea. This has further stranded ties with China. The relationship was already reeling from Russia's invasion, bombing Hajj peacefully. Putin continues to oust Awami government by showing the party as a corrupt one by spreading rumors, says Ubaidul Qadir. New areas of northeastern areas inundated due to upstream water and heavy rain, while flood situation slightly improved in Sylhet and Sunamganj. Relief distribution among flood-affected people continues. Armenia officially recognizes Palestinian statehood and is in favor of a two-state solution of Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And Australia beat Bangladesh by 28 runs at Super 8 stage in T20 World Cup. Viewers, that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our Bangla news that is coming up at 11:30.